Hey guys, what's up? I am back with the video. Excuse that mess and situation back there. Um, I'm still in process of organizing this um dump, which I call my room. I used to have fairy lights where my Star Wars collection is. They broke. So, yeah, I see now that I have one person watching. Welcome to the program. Today we're going to be making a pillow just like I have been talking about. This is one of my many pillows. And I'm pretty much really good at making pillows. Pillows are my favorite thing to make. And I'll fix that later. Real quick, I am just going to head on my Tumblr page and alert my few of my subscribers that I am streaming. Hey. Now I can actually watch my stream from my tablet, so there will be a delay. So I'm just going here, pointing down the link, going to my main. Wanna Okay, so now let's get to the nitty and gritty. So the first things you will need are either one or two, depending on your choice. You can go two separate types of fabric or one. It just depends on you and your preference. You're gonna need a yard of fabric. Now, if you're doing two types of fabric, one side being another design, one side being this design, then you're gonna need two fabrics, but one for each. And you're going to make sure that it's a fabric you like, something that you would like to sleep with, because hello, fabric can sometimes make or break a project. And what you want to do with each piece of fabric is that you want to now, the reason why I decided a fabric like this is for a reason. I'm going to teach you guys how to work with a printed solid like this. Now, what you want to do is you want to grab it and you want to fold it in half, hot dog taco style, depending on how you see it. And we're going to be making two folds on each one. So this is the first fold. Now you want to grab some sewing, fabric, cutting, scissors. You can tell that these are sewing, fabric, cutting scissors just by the angle. Don't be using school grade ones. You're going to ruin those scissors. And the hot dog goes with for the fingers. And then the circle donut, kind of looks like a oblong, if you ask me, is going to be the one for your thumb. So now you're just going to make sure it's not going through your clothes, because that has happened a couple of times to me. And you're going to cut. Of course, you can press your folds with an iron, but this is a quick and simple DIY that you can do in a day. So I do hope you're taking notes. Okay, so now you are left with 2 pieces of fabric, but in total you have 1 yard. You're going to decide which piece you're wanting to use. Now, if you are doing one solid piece, this is where you stop and you start sewing, which I'll show you guys in a bit. So now that I picked my piece of fabric, I'm going to do the same process again. Line up to a corner, pinch it, make sure that it's lined up decently. Now, sometimes I just like to fold it. Grab your scissors once again, and you're going to cut. To those 2 people who have joined the program, thank you for watching. I hope you guys stick around and learn how to make a pillow for yourself rather than spending $10.95 for a pillow, or getting a custom made character or fandom made pillow, which are expensive. And in my opinion, I'm like, are you kidding me? No. I can make a fandom pillow for much cheaper, thank you very much. Of course, this fabric that I'm using, I got this at Walmart recently for $4. So this is a $4 fabric, and I really like it because it's in my favorite color, green. Now, hopefully next week, if willing, I will be streaming a video on my Princess Tiana cosplay. I just need to finish the apron. I am gonna get kind of like a name tag thing done with her name as a kind of like a my own trademark, because I don't want people asking me at the convention, who are you? So now I got my one chosen side. And now what I'm going to do with my other pieces of fabric real quick is I'm going to fold them. That way I know this is the fabric I'm not using. Of course, I already got my lint roller just in case for frays and marks. I found this pair of scissors and lying around my house, and I really like them, so I kind of snagged them from the vanity stand. So I'm going to use those for snipping off the ends. I got my hand needles. Of course, I have a different type of lamp here, and this one is for a craft kit, and this is my caddy. I love using this caddy. I have a couple of sewing clips in here, my tailor's chalk, my measuring tape, a couple of, things I need. And then I have this in my pencil bag, and I take this to school just in case if I need a ruler. But I like using this small ruler, which was about $4 at Joann's. And I got this on discount with the coupons. And I like using this because it gives me straight edges. Can't go wrong with straight edges. Okay, so now that my fabric is nearly, now if you're just doing, one solid piece, what you are wanting to do is, this is technically the wrong side to sew, but it's your right side. So you're kind of turning everything over. So you want to go into the place where it's kind of white and faded and you can't really see your design. You're going to fold like this, sew, and then add your stuffing, then sew it in. So now we are going to do the same thing with our other fabric. And as you can see, it is the same design around, no white faded lines, and ooh, there was a little bit of lag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up as straight as I can. And the lady who cut it really messed up. Sometimes as you can see, it's a little crooked, but hey, I got a little bit more fabric. So I'm just going to line up as straight as I can. Once again, my bobbin. Once again, you're going to hold your scissors the correct way. 4 in the taco, 1 in the oblong donut. And remember, don't use school grade scissors on fabric. Trust me, I did it once. Never again. And sometimes they'll give you like a little seam line to follow. This one really didn't give me one. So feel free to add something in the chat bar if you want. In fact, I have my journal where I'm keeping all your suggestions nearby. So if you have a suggestion on what you would like to see, please put that in the comment section. I'll be sure to add that. In the journal. So once again, I'm going to decide which side I want to use. And not this one. It's kind of a little bit crooked. I will use this for another project. Hopefully, I will find a muse, or you guys suggest you want to see something else besides a pillow. After all, this is the first Creators Academy episode, so I hope you guys really enjoy it. Okay, so finally, I decided my piece that I want to use, and once again, we're going to line the corners up. We're going to fold, and we are going to cut. Like I said, you can iron out your seams before you cut. But like I said, this is just a simple do it yourself. You can do this in a day. Now there is a store where I live, and this store does sharpen scissors, but it does depend on the brand and the length and you know their how much time it's going to take to sharpen them. So what I just do is that I run the scissors through aluminum foil. Or for you European viewers out there, because I know majority of my audience is from Europe, aluminium. But sure, I can make a really nice jumper with this fabric. But sadly, I don't know how to make clothes yet. My dad said if I do very well this semester in school, I get a new phone and I get sewing lessons. So let's just hope and pray that I do very well in school So I don't have to retake any classes. As you can see, we're starting to get a little bit of lint everywhere. So now I look at my two pieces. I look at the one I want to use. Now, if you hear that, my mother's doing some housework. I really like this piece. So this piece is going to be used. Once again, fold and save your scraps. Do not throw away your scraps. You will probably use this for something else. Whether it be making handkerchiefs, which I know how to make, or a tie, which I don't know how to make, but I do want to learn how to make. So now, finally, we come to preparing our sewing machine. And let me bring this camera down just a little bit. Okay. So now we are at the phase where we can start preparing our sewing machine. We are going to grab our thread, apologies, and sometimes the thread is so stuck in there, so I use my my de-threader that came with my sewing machine. I don't know why it was in my caddy, so I put it back in my little storage compartment here. Now, if anybody is wondering what type of Singer this is the Singer 44S Classic with the top loader bobbin. You will know because the bobbin's right here, not here on the side. I prefer this model because it's very easy to use and I'm not sponsored. So now you're going to put it, let me just bring this up so you can see. Let me bring this down so you can see a little bit better. You're going to put it here. Now this is used so your thread doesn't fly. Your thread doesn't fly off. It's kind of like a barrier. You're going to bring it up and you're going to do this. I just like to, use my saliva, just a little bit of saliva. That way it can go through. You can see. Here, let me just bring it up. Now, sometimes that does happen. And it's really hard sometimes to find the hole through to put it through. And you're going to put it right here. Sometimes your thread will have the tendency to get off. So just bring it through. And I'm using my smaller pair of scissors just to snap off the ends. Now with the ends of the thread, you don't need to save those. Now I'm going to pull this back. And right here on the side, make sure that it's on. I'm going to turn that off. That way you guys can see a little bit better. I have my desktop lamp on. So it's going to go from here to here. Now this tells the machine to thread the bobbin, not do this action down here. And watch. I just like to hold the thread because sometimes it has the ability to kind of get webbed and stuck. I bring that down. As you can probably see, it kind of has like this elastic tendency. So what I do is I just snip Of course, I have a little trash can right there to catch the ends. Then I cut. Now, once you go to here, this tells the machine to sew, the sewing action. For safety reasons, I like to turn off my machine while I'm putting in the bobbin. Now I'm putting it back on so I can see just a little bit better. And you're going to thread through, kind of like a seat. You're going to thread through and add your cap. There we go. And you're going to put it at the end. Now you can turn it on. Now we thread our machine. You're going to bring up this. If you can kind of see it's right here, I'm going to bring it back down that way you can see. There. As you can see, my little finger went up. I'm going to go through. You're going to bring your needle all the way up. Turn off your machine so you don't hurt yourself, because I've been hurt by needles before. And when you get hurt by these, it's way, way worse than these or the little ones that have the little ball on top and they're colored various colors of the rainbow. And you're going to thread through. I like to do this. And then there. Now, once you're here, you're going to put your thread back, grab your scissors, and then just snip it. And I'm just cleaning up my surface just a little bit. Now comes the part where you can start sewing. Now, if you're using a side where it's kind of faded like this with your print, this is what you do. Do not sew. I repeat, do not sew like this. You're going to get this side when you turn it over. So, no pun intended. You're going to match up your line, each side. Sometimes other fabrics do come a little wider, so don't worry about that. That is perfectly normal. You want to match up the sides as even as you can. Okay? Once you have them even enough, yeah, sewing pun. You're going to use clips or your pins. Let me bring out my sewing pins for you. I rarely use them. I do not like them. I transferred over to the clip because it's much easier and much, much safer. I have a couple clips in here. These in here are sewing pins. I am just going to bring one out. These, if you get pricked with these, you bleed. And they also kind of pierce your fabric, which kind of looks bad. Why do I have my Nayo magnets here? Now, clips come in a variety of sizes. You have the smaller ones, the bigger ones. I personally like either size. It's, whichever one. So what I'm doing over here, sometimes, where are my big scissors? Sometimes your fabric will have the tendency to be a little bit wider than your other fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 of my purple clips. I have some gray thread here. I'm going to use my purple clips, and I'm just going to edit and clean up my fabric. As you cut, you can cut out little sections bit by bit. Now these little sections, you can save them if you want to make like a little fringe or something at the end of your pillow, but I'm not going to do that, so they're just going to go in the trash bin. Or for you Europeans out there, the rubbish bin. So I'm just cutting out little sections bit by bit. And I'm holding the 2 sides pretty tightly. And I'm cutting about 4 clicks in and then tossing. But once I start seeing the fabric kind of pinch a little bit, I toss. There we go. So now I'm moving the clips, and I'm kind of making little right angles. And then I'm doing the last bit here. Now, you don't need to pin or clip. It's all up to you and all up to your financial means. I just like clipping. Now, finally, we can start sewing. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of threads going here and there in where you're sewing. Just use a lint roller. So now I grab out my little 6-inch ruler. Now this is so handy. I love using this. It is by Darice, 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 and I got this at Joann's. It's a very nice ruler. It's used for art, but I don't care. I'm gonna use it for what I want. So it's about like a 2-inch marking, which is about decent. I'm just going to remove mine and use mine as a guide. Now I am keeping my ruler right at the edge of where the foot is. The foot, let me pick it up, take it out. This is your foot. This is your presser foot. Now there's different types of foots for different types of designs. There's one for pleats that I want. Please buy it for me. Ow. To avoid injury, I'm just going to line it up the best I can. Then bring it back up. we can start sewing. Of course, if you are lazy and you don't plan to wash this, you can just use hot glue, but it's going to look bad. So keeping my fabric as straight as I can. I'm just moving pushing my fabric through while pressing down my ruler, and it's sewing. Now sometimes there's going to be a little bit of tension like this. All you need to do is just try to detangle it a bit. There. It won't do anything to your product. It just makes sure that it doesn't get bunched. Every so often, I make sure that there's thread in there because sometimes it snaps. And sometimes you can hear it. Now I'm stopping, bringing my ruler back. You don't have to use a ruler. I just like using a ruler because it kind of gives me a little bit more of a straight edge. Bring my pins over there because I don't want those to drop. And if that container opens, I have stepped on pins before. It is painful. I would say the pain is the equivalent of stepping on a Lego barefooted. Now, I am going to pivot. Pivot means you open like this. Just checking my line. Straight. Now I'm putting it back down. Making sure my fabric is straight. Coming! I will be right back after this brief intermission. Yes, Mom. I am back. My mother was asking me how we use our DVD player. Now I am pivoting again. Oh, I see we have a third person joining our screening. Welcome to this live stream. If you rewind all the way back, you can learn all these steps and then come back. But if you just want to watch towards the end, that's on you. My mom is watching The Young Victoria, some historical film. So now we are going to read again. Feel free to put something in the chat and ask me a question. Or would you prefer I go right through without talking? I know. Because I know what I'm. Now I'm just taking off the clips as I go. Now you're going to notice something that I do here. Drop down a little bit. Now we're going to pleat. We're going to pivot again. Straighten out your fabric. Of course, just making sure it's straight. Of course, you can iron your fabric in advance before you sew, but I got it. Stop, sew back. Now, this is where we add our stuffing, our pillow material. Man, these little scissors come in handy. And here I was going to pay $16.95 for little mini scissors, but turns out I have little mini scissors at home. Now, you're going to turn in your fabric. Now watch. This is where the pillow comes into life. Now you want to be careful because sometimes your sewing seam lines will snap. So you want to take your time in doing this. So you can either hand sew or you can either, once you stuff it, right through. Me, I'm going to try to make this as professional as I can for you guys. Now you grab your stuffing. I'm using the original Polyfill Premium Polyester Fiber Fill 12 ounces highly resistant, and I got this for $4.99 at Joann's. Now, since these scissors and these scissors are entirely different, I can use these scissors on paper, on non-fabric things. I can also snip off the ends of my my threads. Now, this next step depends on you entirely, on how fluffy you want your pillow. Do you want it soft? Do you want it medium? Or do you want it firm and thick? Now, this pillow for me is going to pretty much be decoration. So you want to start at the corners and fill from there. You want to work from the bottom up. And I really like how I designed and picked out this fabric. I didn't even take the green fabric with me to Joann's. I just decided in my mind that this one was going to be a really good one. Now I'm just holding it here with my foot. Now I'm just putting it in. As you can see, we left a gap, and that's where you put in your stuffing or whatever type you use. I use this one because I'm allergic to feathers. And when I use something with feathers, I get a little bit sick. Kind of like cold-like symptoms. Now I'm adding in little by little, chunk by chunk into here. And I'm just, messing around with how I put it in here. I'm just, testing out the levelness. Now I notice that there's like a tiny little mound here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add more stuff. You want to add little by little. Usually half a yard pillow will cost about 12 ounces of stuffing, depending. There we go. Now I have like 1/3 maybe. And just making sure that look at all this lint. So I have kind of like a solid cotton side and then a nice fleece side. Now the black and white part cost me about $2.99 a yard. It was discounted, and so I love a good discount. So I took it. Sometimes you'll have the little microfibers poking out. I'll let you comment on that one. Okay, now that I'm at the halfway mark, I am just going to go quickly on Tumblr and see why some of my followers aren't tuning in. Like, I understand if you're busy and all, but you got the time. Why? Thank you. I'm back. Let's finish this pillow off in 10 minutes. Making sure that everything's even. There's nothing odd about having an even pillow. Now, the only thing that's odd is having an odd-shaped pillow. Trust me, I've seen a whole lot of odd in my life, and some pillows don't even need to be sewn and existing. Is there anything else you want to see on Creators Academy? Just put it on in the comment section. There's kind of like a little divot right there, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. There. Now see this. Add as much and add as little as you want. It all depends on you. I'll just let you once again comment on that if you like. That's a whole lot of nasty right there. You want to also check the other side. Every so often, just check. I'm going to try to stuff every little bit of stuffing in here so I don't have extra. You so often grab your lint roller and try to get off some of the nuisance out. Never buy these at the dollar store or downtown again because sometimes they don't work. And they're sometimes hard to peel off. Gotta use your house sometimes. Does come in handy though. Oh, you gotta bake it. And last bit of section, little bitty. Now you can either take this to your sewing machine, or if you want to go to the extra long mile way and do a ladder stitch, you can do the ladder stitch. Me, just because I'm nice, doesn't mean I'm always nice. I can be a little mean. I could be a little savage. I could be a McNasty sometimes. I am going to be attempting ladder stitch. Try and make this. I think I just found. Oh no, it belongs to my main thread. Stuff there. and fold there, probably. No. I remember exactly as it goes, like this. Just fold and sew. So now I'm just going to take a little couple of sewing pins. Not pins, I mean clips. These are actually quilters clips. And, oh, well, one of them went flying. Just plug my machine. And, oh, it's a little heavy. Don't know what you're doing? Just stop there. Just take out a little bit of lint. Place my pillow so you can see it looks really nice. But we're going to go a little bit a long way. Next episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make a pillow sheet. Because some of these, if they're not decorative and you're going to put your head on these, you might want a pillow sheet. And I think, hello, I got scissors. There we go. Grab out a needle. And I think I'm going to use a micro needle. Now I'm just going to add this right there because I'll lose it. Just like I almost did with my thread right here. And now we're going to thread our needle. Same concept when you're threading your sewing machine needle, except it's a little bit more harder if you don't have a lot of practice. One hack I suggest to you is filling up a little bottle with a little bit of water or hairspray, and it'll make it a little bit stiff so you can get it through. Or just holding it on its side and just threading it through about 1.5 inches. Ought to do the trick. Now you're going to find the end of your needle. Hold them together because then the needle's going to get off. And without cutting your fabric. I hope the music that is playing in my mother's movie isn't copyrighted, because I can hear it all the way over here. YouTube, please don't sue me. I'm too poor to be sued. Okay, now with the ladder stitch, or the invisible stitch, I'm just going to pull it up. Go. You're going to start sewing right in between between them. Now I'm gonna just add a little clip, sorry, again. That way it's nicely aligned. Now what I do when I ladder stitch is a paper clip. I go over, down, and pull. And that is in between. My skin's so oily. Now I'm gonna just move my clip, sorry, bit. Move down, move up, and pull. And you're just going to repeat that process until you get at the end. Put a smiley face in the comment section if you're paying attention. Want to see if you're paying attention. SMH. Of course, if you want the faster way out of this, you can just put it through the machine. I'm, of course, being nice to my one viewer and currently during this time of streaming and showing him the longer way. Just make sure that it is stitched. I need about maybe good 3 inches. Welcome to the program. Thank you for joining in. Um, right now, you just missed a whole hour of me making a pillow, but if you are to rewind, you can totally see how I did this from start to finish. So, what I'm doing here is that I'm just finishing up, I'm closing my pillow up, just stitching. Every so often, I'm checking in for gaps. I am going to go through with this one more time with my sewing machine. So if you're wearing earphones, earbuds, AirPods, whatever pods, take those out. I do not want to be the cause of you losing your hearing. Do put something in the comment section if you like. Okay. Just a couple more stitches. Now, in my next video, I will be showing you with the same fabric how to make a pillowcase. You don't need to make the pillowcase if you don't want to, but if you're going to plan to sleep with this, have a pillowcase because sometimes it does get a little uncomfortable. And I need about maybe half an inch. But then I'm just going to run this really quick. Oh no, 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 no. Oh God. Please don't break. Okay, sometimes this happens where your thread just says F it to you and doesn't want to work. What you do is you cut it all off, you secure it, find the longest thread I like, or you can just replace it entirely. All up to you. Okay, I am back. Okay. I like close threading it like this. until I see like a really nice knot. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, when that happens, you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to find a little opening, like here. Thread it like this. And then with that, you are going to thread here at least a couple of times because otherwise it'll come through and make a mess. And with that, your own handmade pillow is complete. It feels so soft and nice. And just to test it out for all you guys, I'm gonna face plant right here. Oh yeah. Yeah, this feels really nice. I actually prefer this side a little bit better than the other side. Now I'm gonna face plant on the other side just to make sure I like it. This side I can feel the microfibers on my face, but that's okay. How the hell did I get rid? Now for my last step, I am just gonna do a final sweep. With these two lights, I can see it all. So in the next segment, I will be teaching you how to make a pillowcase. Because face it, with every pillow, you need a pillowcase. Now, I'm gonna leave it up to my viewers. Do you want the pillowcase to be in fabric A or fabric B? I'll give you guys a minute to decide. This is fabric B, as in Bernard, boy, or fabric A. I'm gonna just switch it around because I know that we read left to right. So fabric A, fabric B. And I will be back momentarily. Okay, we got one for fabric A. So fabric A will look like the same thing, just like this, all the way around. And that one will be fairly easy to do. All I have to do is just sew in a hemline and then sew there, all three. That's it. So if you guys want, do you guys want like a bedding, like a piping edge? Because I can buy that tomorrow. Okay, so fabric A it is. I will be back after a snack break and tumbler break and a break.